Everybody, and welcome to week 5 of the Chair Raider review and preview. I like how that goes. Uh, Fortunately, the Raiders could not get the win against Buffalo at home, and now, real big test with the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. We all know, of course, the tough task it is to beat the Chiefs. Haven't in a while, and probably won't again, but if you go back to that Bills game, yeah, you only lost by a touchdown and against one of the best teams, but there were so many things to nitpick and to really think about. If this could have happened, if this could have happened, maybe we could have won the game. As much as Carr is doing well with no picks and throwing touchdowns, there's these little things that happen. There's these fumbles, he stays in the pocket too long, other people are fumbling, there's injuries, there's just issues all around. Oh, sure. Um, that really hurt the game, of course, against Buffalo. Now, with the Raiders at 2-2, they go up against the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs at 4-0. They come off defeating the Patriots, holding on. Even without Cam Newton, they held on to beat the Patriots. And also have an odd schedule now because not them, but other teams that are facing them have some COVID positive tests. So that's going to be interesting to see how the Chiefs' schedule comes out after this game and what's going to happen through all that. Weather, of course, in Kansas City will be 83 degrees. It's pretty well out in Kansas City, but there will be limited fans. Usually you get 76,416. It's going to be definitely not even half of that, maybe 20, 30,000. As teams are opening up a little more, but that's always a risk, of course, because of interactions of any kind. That's going to not be a good thing because then you'll have teams, you'll have fans, you'll have players, you'll have people tested positive, and there you go. Again, this will be a definitely tough task. We have the Raiders again with one of the worst defenses in the game, and then Kansas City surprising people defensively, and they get Chris Jones back just in time for this Raider game. And that really hurts because he's a force up front. He can disturb the peace for sure. So that really helps the Chiefs as they don't have any injuries to discuss. The Chiefs are favored by 5. And again, no injured players for Kansas City. They did have a positive test, but it was to the backup quarterback, but he's seemingly fine. We'll see how that ends up. The Raiders, however, with 3 wide receivers on the injury list. Bryan Edwards, of course, is out with the hamstring issue. Henry Ruggs III is questionable, and also Rico Gafford is questionable. And Trent Brown as well is questionable, the right tackle that the Raiders really need. And if these 3 aren't there, that will make it even worse, the score. Because it seems like Waller can't get much going, Jacobs can't get much going. I think a lot of teams, whoever the Raiders face, they are finding out ways to stop them and make the defense be out for a long time. And that's obviously the case with the Raider defense, just having to be out there for a long period of time and getting beat. Pat Mahomes is up to his amazing self again, throwing 11 touchdowns. Carr with 8. Jacobs with 3 touchdowns. And the CDH, as I call him, Edwards Hilaire, this rookie out of LSU, when Damian Williams decided to skip out of the 2020 season, this rookie has stepped in pretty well for him. And Travis Kelce with a couple of touchdowns as well. And Waller with one. Those are the key players you'll look at. But the Chiefs, when you think about it, they have so many others. You have Watkins, you have Hartman, you have Tyreek Hill, who I didn't even talk about right away. Those guys all lined up at the same time that just wreaks havoc for any defenses. The Raiders secondary being as horrible as it is, that's most likely going to go in the favor of the Chiefs, no doubt about it. Yeah. So I want to be nice and say, hey, maybe the Raiders have a chance. Maybe. It would take a lot of things to happen. It would take a whole breakdown of the Kansas City offense. Just not being on time, some tips, some sacks hopefully happening. It just doesn't seem like that's happening with the Raider defense. And then with Kansas City, it always seems like Pat Mahomes is never really touched. Unless it's real late, he got rid of the ball, or he's just running around and he's easily getting away from defensive players. It's just an amazing quarterback, and yeah, I don't know. I could just hope for better. I could just hope for things to happen like what I said, with just unlucky bounces for the Chiefs, and we'll see what happens. But most likely it'll be a Chiefs win. Not going to sugarcoat anything. It's just a real struggle right now for the Raiders defensively, and it's just meeting at the wrong time. But hopefully, there will be a chance that the Raiders can get the win. Then you get Tampa Bay at home, at Cleveland, in LA for a home game for the Raiders. For the next 3, and you're hoping that, hey, maybe we can get some wins out of there. But the one thing also I want to mention too, I forgot about it. Malik Collins also has the he got COVID, but he's slated to come back. But you know how these things go lately. I don't know if he'll come back. And one thing I just realized, Trent Brown is the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL history. And since he strained his right calf in the opening series of the season opener, he hasn't been back. I just find that amazing how, one little strain like that and he's out. I know there's a lot of fans out there that really are angry at him, angry at Carr for the little mistakes he makes. And it's just a frustration of losing every year. It's just frustration of not being able to get to the playoffs, not winning. It's just frustrating, man. Jonathan Abram also full practice. He should be ready to go. With the shoulder and thumb injury, that tells me if he's full practice every day, and then they're flying out Saturday, they should be ready to go. See what happens. That would be tough though for the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll see what happens, but never know. Maybe get a win and I'll be back in happy spirits again. But we'll see on Sunday what happens. So that's been my review of Week 4 quickly, and the Week 5 preview. And all we can say, Raider Nation, is that hope we get some key he stops and some wins going forward. And it starts with the battle, the rivalry at Arrowhead. And we'll see what happens. So take care, stay safe out there. See you next time on the Chair Raider Preview. Later.